To turn it up to 104. We about to turn it up to 104. Them niggas acting like they didn't know.
Sure.
Oh yeah, we're
Good
recording.
evening, ladies and gentlemen. You have now tuned in to Awkward Menage podcast. This is Her Majesty Shuella DeVille speaking, aka Shu LaRue, aka Shuey Newton. But y'all don't got time for all of that. I am also here with the mercenary Ed.
For sure, what's up, you infected motherfuckers?
Shut your ass up. We want people to continue to listen to us. Nah. This is the perfect time for Kneeboard to come through. The lovely, wonderful Kneeboard.
What's up, everybody? I'm here. I'm on the road, but we about to get these bars out about this bullshit going on.
I would like to start with the quote from our president number 45, known as Donald J. Trump. People are dying who ain't never died before.
They are though, but they
I
are
thought
though.
that's the way death works. So like when you die, it's like for the first time. For
And
most
that's
people.
how you know.
I mean, you know, I guess you
Niggas
got a
got
few
right
people
to
out
be
here that got
fucking
the
scared
second.
because we talking to a nigga who say obvious shit just like that. Matter of factly, like we supposed to get in the groove.
Right.
I
Like
mean,
One Nation under a groove. Not with his motherfucking ass. He out here wilding.
man, I don't even know what to say about man. But,
I
see,
know
but
That's
this
this,
where it
dude
starts.
was watching these press conferences and shit. He done, and all these other people in the White House, he done got rid of all them motherfuckers that was trying to get rid of him. Because now there's no more issues. He's such a great, decisive leader, taking bold action. And I'm like, when did that shit happen?
Bold action by laughing and calling it Kung Flu. Getting into it with reporters. When the reporter asks, what would you tell the American people who are scared right now? And he gonna say, I tell them that Andrew so-and-so is a terrible reporter. And then start going fed on him for like 2 minutes. Dude, you wasting people time with this mess.
Right. You've got to chill. You have got
You
to
don't
chill.
get it. You don't understand. There ain't even no
you know
reason
what
to be
I don't
arguing
know
right
why I
now, sir.
understand this,
It's
right?
really not.
Like, I
Now's
just thought
not the
about
time
this.
for any of
Like
that.
you mentioned conspiracies and shit, right?
Right.
So just sitting here thinking, like, I think the biggest conspiracy is the fact that they got everybody believing everything is a conspiracy. So now there's some real shit going on. They think it's a conspiracy.
Nobody taking it serious, right? Because it's a cover up for something else. And
Right.
why I feel that
I just want to know why
also feel
does
like just basically
Iran
doing the
deserve to
research
get?
and all the
Oh, go ahead,
just
Nima.
oh no, I was just gonna say just like all the research I've been doing, like I'll read articles and everybody else with a different article. And it's like the numbers change from day to day. Like nothing with this is consistent. So I can say yes,
No.
we need to worry about those who may get sick and die. We should still be preparing ourselves for that. But at the same time, like there's something deeper going on
That's
here.
why it's called it.
Can we?
That's why they keep calling it a novel pandemic because it's a bunch of different
Right.
strains.
Being written. Exactly. And we need to
Okay.
discuss the fact that Iran was being bombed in the middle of a pandemic. Like coronavirus ain't bomb enough for somebody fucking country.
Right, that's what I'm
Especially
saying.
if
And you know
Hey,
what?
one
you
that's
gotta
They
already
dropped
remember,
the
developed and is
they
already
dropped the
war
bomb
torn.
on Iraq too.
what,
Iraq as well
what,
got bombed during this shit.
no, this is what you got. Y'all got to put this together. Y'all got to
Damn.
think about the countries that's always talking about biological warfare and shit, right? So now that they got
Everything.
something working with those bombs, you think they not gonna go for
Right, true, very true,
it? Number one,
Man.
for them, they like
very
shit.
true.
Hell yeah! Like it's
Who's
30 years
to say
walking
the
over the
fucking
bomb.
bomb they drop ain't had coronavirus in it?
Right,
Fuck
and
this
that's
shit. Like we
Well, see, the
can't.
thing is,
What can we
coronavirus
believe now?
been
Well,
around
as far as
forever.
I'm concerned, now correct me if I'm wrong, but
But it was only in
people
animals.
in hospital gear. Like I see,
Right.
right?
So,
I see.
well,
Okay, and that's
you know
another
what I think
thing.
it is?
So
You know
one
what I
is
think
I don't see people in the hospital. None of these reporters go into the hospital. They don't have anybody in the hospital say,
But
"Hey,
you,
can you go and take a picture of these sick people?" But we keep seeing bodies on top of bodies on top of bodies. That's number one. Number two, this shit went from being started from a fucking cougar looking animal in China to being from bats in North America to now the possibility of it being from pigs. So what it's like don't nobody know shit about this shit really.
From
listen.
pigs.
And
This
that's
is
the
what I got to
crazy
say.
part.
Listen, this is what I think. This is what I think it came from. If y'all really pay attention, like,
Oh,
okay,
do not
all
hurt
of a
my
sudden,
soul, please.
all them little mukbang videos and shit, them shits got popular as fuck, and then all of a sudden, China was all fucked up. Y'all ain't think about that shit, did y'all? Them-
Wait,
Yeah,
you said what
because I
videos? You broke
listened
up
Don't
there
y'all
for a
to
second.
the
the mukbang and
mukbang,
ASMR videos and shit? They eating all that weird shit.
Yeah, when
Oh,
they got
right,
the
right,
girl eating
right. But you can't. It didn't start in
her at
China
first.
though. That's
They
the
was
thing.
trying to
People want
say
to
she
blame the
was the one
Chinese,
that was
but it
spreading
didn't
the
start in
virus.
China.
I'm just
Let me.
saying,
I don't
you
know
got
if
to think
y'all watched
about
that
all the
video
shit.
I dropped
That's
in
listen,
the group,
because
and
Chinese people.
people are trying to discredit this video and say it wasn't real. It's just a test of what would happen. But last year, November in 2019. I'm sorry, before November, I want to say in October, maybe September, they had a panel of world leaders and they were talking about the
We didn't hear nothing you
coronavirus
just
and that
said.
it was going to be a pandemic. But now we got all these different news outlets say, no, that's fake. That was just a test. But if it was just a test, God damn it, they hit the nail on the head with choosing that random ass virus to make for
Come on
that
now.
fucking
How many times they
pandemic.
done hit the nail on
The
the head?
corona of all the viruses out here, why did they choose the
I
coronavirus to be the
clearly I
one
need
that
to
they
go watch the
discussed during
video.
that panel? Yeah,
Because they knew that shit
yeah.
was already spreading. That's why.
It's called Event
They knew
201.
that shit. They knew that shit was already spreading.
Pandemic
And what they
preparation.
didn't want to
And
do,
I have
what they didn't want
right.
to do,
That's what I'm saying.
Do
Like
it
you
because
like
look how people was
of all
dumping
the
stock. They get
strains
the
of
fuck out of
diseases
here.
out here, y'all choose the reason they chose coronavirus. They knew this shit was going down. The WHO and CDC keep saying they've been warning the presidents, they've been warning these world leaders about this
I
shit,
got two
and
words.
nobody did
Two
anything
words.
until it was too late.
Two
Sorry, go ahead. I'm
words.
done.
had it's
Insider
like
trading.
fucking. This shit is like
Insider
left wide as
trading. That's
hell.
it. That's all
Right.
I
That's
gotta
why
say.
we got
Insider
Congress selling
trading.
all their stock before the shit really hit the fan with the stock
They
And
market.
knew.
that's why that one senator needs to sit her ass down and she know who she is because she did the insider trading thing, dumped all her stock, and then got in front of the American public and told us we didn't have anything to worry about. The economy was straight and X,
Right.
Y, and Z. Meanwhile, you done cashed in all your
Listen,
And
little
it wasn't
dividends
just her,
off
it was
the
three of them.
situation.
Total.
in
My,
my 36 years of
my,
life, I've
Come
learned
on, baby.
uh-huh.
if the government says, and this is what I've learned in my 36 years of life, if the government says it ain't shit to worry about, that's when you got to
That's
start.
when you need to worry.
Exactly.
What
Man.
movie was that? He was like, when the government, I think it was a Will Smith, like, when the
They
government tells
look,
you don't panic, that's when you panic.
they looking through
Like,
you and lying to your naked ass soul. They don't give
All
a
right.
fuck, okay? They lied to you,
niggas, they
Right.
your
don't
soul, your
you know what I'm saying?
ancestors, every fucking body.
They got little bunkers and
Right.
shit they can go hide in. Cause you know they
Right.
got.
And that's
They
my
got
biggest thing, too. Like, how is Trump on vacation with all these people sick with coronavirus, but he didn't get it? Why is Tom Hanks and his
If they
wife, they both
fired in
sick?
health,
His
it's
wife,
real.
his wife got breast cancer now, and she's getting better. I read a story
I
yesterday
don't
of
give
this
a
mama
shit
sick.
about
She
her.
is a breast cancer survivor and she died. So what determines who lives and who dies? It's gotta be the money. It's gotta be the money. You can't tell me it
It
ain't
ain't
the money.
nothing else. The Rothschild dude died after he got his 10th heart. Come on now.
Oh, you talking about
We don't
Dave?
even know we don't even know people who can live to get one heart, let alone 10.
Right.
Right.
Come on now.
Right. And then he died
You
at like
need to start paying
100 years old.
attention.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
And
Shit.
how was it that he just happened
Right,
to be
come on.
so lucky to find 10 donations for a heart that perfectly fit his chest?
Uh,
He
Perfect.
that's
created them
easy.
bitches.
Yep.
Or trafficking, motherfucker.
Have you got? Okay, here's another
He
conspiracy
created
theory.
a
Have you guys
circumstance
ever
to
seen
make
that
his
movie?
will come true.
Have you guys seen that movie Shoot 'Em Up?
I
No, I don't
saw
think
it,
so.
but I don't remember it that good. Like I
Well, the
saw.
idea of that movie was there was this Republican and he was really sick, and so he started a baby hatchery and got all these women pregnant with his sperm to hopefully have one child with the stem cells that was needed to save his life. But then the shit
Okay.
wasn't working, and they murdered all the women and all the babies and shit, except for one that Clive Owen just happened to save. But I don't feel like these movies that we watch and the things we see on TV. I don't
Them
feel
shit
like
ain't
it's
that
as
far
far
fetched.
fetched as we think it is.
Yeah.
Right, right. It's like it's preparing us for what's gonna happen in the real world.
But see, that's why I'm not understanding why people. Okay, so once they done
Ain't
said that
no
the
going
Simpsons,
to happen. What
once
is
they
happening?
once they said the Simpsons predicted it, y'all already know that shit was about to go down. Like you, fuck out of here.
I heard
Like,
that
The
was just the
Simpsons
edit
predicted
somebody did.
coronavirus, COVID.
man, they got books that came out in '81 talking about the coronavirus. So I mean,
Yep. That
it's
or
like at some point it's coming, motherfucker.
I can mute it.
And like I
who was
said
that? Was
yesterday,
that a Dean Koontz book?
I forgot who it was by. Hold on, let me cause somebody sent me the cover,
Yeah, my brother had COVID.
but I'm sorry, anything that y'all see spreading like this, don't just look at that shit like it's a fucking like it's a hoax and shit with they dumbasses. That's what's bothering me. It's like okay,
No, and leave people alone because some people were actually having hope and belief in their leader, the
okay, I
president,
don't
who
mind you
announced
having
that it was a hoax. He
yeah,
said that
okay,
it was a hoax, so we're just gonna go with that, because he
no,
said, you know.
no, that's dumb. Like I mean, cause come on,
Exactly, it is
how many
dumb.
presidents we
I
done had?
agree with you.
How many
But I just
presidents
gotta
we had?
let you know that, they probably might not have thought that if he had never said that shit.
You want to run
Man,
in the check or you want to just go to sleep?
out of here. Fuck out of here. Man, we done had every fucking leader in America in our lifetimes lie to us about something.
Yet we still let them talk to our face. That's the funny part about it. I
Right.
don't let them talk to
Well,
our face. I let them talk to
let
our face.
that little
Goddamn it.
pookie down the street tell you the truth. Now you think he lying about every fucking thing.
Yeah.
But you know what? And that's one of the biggest things that they do to us. We all ain't been diagnosed with mental health for no reason. We start speaking the truth and start going ham on these motherfuckers, and they want to. The first thing they want to run and yell is mental health, mental health, mental health. These motherfuckers crazy, mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Because
some of us
according
do
to the
need, and some
paperwork,
of us
honey.
are mentally ill, but I can't believe it's the vast majority of us, like they make it seem.
If we got anything, it's PTSD. We've been desensitized to violence through the images they choose to show us on any given day of the week.
It's
Like
getting
right
that
now, for
real.
instance, we could turn on the TV and see 10 shows of at least 5 people getting shot at or shot in the face or killed or hanged or anything.
Right, and it doesn't
Tell you
phase us at
look,
all.
once you get
And we
shot,
be watching it. We be
that
eating
bring
food
that
watching it.
sensitivity
That's
back.
how you know it don't
Right,
bother us. We'll watch it while eating.
That's it.
right.
Once you get shot, that shit bring that sensitivity right back because now you remember it's real.
Right, yeah.
But
So
it
it's like
shouldn't even
Wait,
have to
why these
take all of
fucking
it's
that
like
though.
y'all
games
niggas
It
better
being
believe
played out here?
can't
it
come
shouldn't
back.
even
This
take
ain't
all that.
Is that
Yeah.
music coming from the store?
I was telling my aunt yesterday, like, remember when TV used to go off
Hmm.
and you had to do something else with yourself because there was no TV for you to watch until it came back on the next
Yep.
day?
See, that
yeah.
sound like me. I pause your device as quick as it. Well, we all turn off the TV. We pause the Wi-Fi on all the devices now. But yeah,
Yep.
more people need to get back into them roots. Man, shit, I'm quick as hell to kick my kids outside and say go make some fucking friends and get your ass up the house.
We had to. We didn't have a choice.
Man,
Go outside.
yeah, we are so disconnected with society and each other. It's fucking crazy. And then we keep
That's why I don't
like
understand.
it seemed like we start to unify a little bit and we start to come together and then boom, coronavirus, boom, more separation, boom, more racism.
Well, see, look though, the thing is,
Because we got more time to be with our wicked ass fucking thoughts now.
Right. I mean, because you always got them.
Most people, we like to believe
If you
that
find
we
something
have a
on
false
TV,
belief that most people are not born good or bad. You born a neutral,
right.
Right.
and then your environment determines for the most
Oh,
part.
absolutely.
What's good and what's bad. But you
Yeah.
know what's sad?
So
I've been
for
trolling
us
all
to
week.
believe
I'm
that,
sorry,
oh,
go ahead,
all of
finish your
these
thought.
good people are around, like that's not. I'm not trying wanting to be no Debbie Downer or nothing. We just have to be realistic about it. Not too many people would rather just live in their own misery as opposed to, superseding it. So
Right, doing something to get
that's
out of
just
it.
what
And
we dealing with.
that's
Like,
one point,
you
and
don't
I'm
understand you
glad you
sick because
said
that's
that.
what you choose to be. You rather connect with the trauma instead of the other parts of yourself, and that's only because
Right.
you
You
don't
will,
know how
and
to
you know
do
what? And that's
anything
only
other than
because
that.
it's so much easier to focus on the negative because everything around us is geared towards and focused on the negative. And then that brings me to a good
Especially
point
the
too
news.
with the kids being neutral and their environment being the reason why, they find hate or malice in their heart. But another big part is we don't teach our children critical thinking skills. I was following
No,
Uncle Henny Ben Trail. I know y'all probably know who that is. And he made
Yeah.
this one post about if your son was dating this woman who uh who wasn't doing anything for him and he was paying all the bills and yada yada yada, would you discourage him? Would you tell him to stop, or would you approve of it and then keep encouraging it? And I'm like, I wouldn't encourage or discourage. I would just let my son know the facts, the way of the world as I see it, but still let them make their own
they
decision. But
own decision. Yeah.
Yeah.
somehow
I'm
that
gonna put a
lets
bug in
me
there.
being one of these basic ass bitches out here who expect a man to take care of everything and not put in. But bro, you don't even know me. Number one, number two, that's the biggest part of the world. We don't teach our kids. We don't teach them to think for themselves. We too busy telling them what to do, telling them what's right, telling them what's wrong, and not letting them make up their own mind and learning how to build those thinking processes.
Now this
Right,
is
but instead we
uh,
show them how to argue, how to fight,
Mm-hmm.
oh,
how to get
see,
drunk,
we don't show our
how to
kids
Right.
flirt,
because
how to
because we don't
smoke,
have
how to
households
pop
for real
pills.
anymore. Because we don't have like actual households for real anymore. You don't
Right.
have like, okay, daddy going to work, mama at home, and she taking care of the kids and making sure the house clean, making sure the little girls and the little boys can cook and like fend for themselves. So you get a bunch of
Right.
motherfuckers running around out here doing stupid shit. That's what happens.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
That's
It's-
pretty much it. I
you don't
thought it
have
was wild.
structure.
Like when Melissa and Daryl were young,
Barking
people
orders
were
at people
amazed by
like
the
they
fact that my
expected
four
to
and
do
five year
it.
old know how to work a stove, that my 4 and 5 year old know how to work a microwave and can get up in the morning and take care of themselves, whether I'm up or not. But how are we not all teaching our kids these basic necessities that they have to know? Because what happens when they move out and they're so accustomed to you telling them what to do and you doing everything for them? How do they live and fend for themselves?
They
They find
don't. They go
somebody they can
find
tell
somebody
somebody.
else to tell them what to do, just like you was doing.
Hmm.
Yep.
That's how those type of relationships work. You have a needy person, and then you have a person that needs somebody to need them, and they find each other and live happily ever after. The end.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on,
But
y'all. I'm
that's
off
not
for a hot.
helping anyone because that's codependency. Y'all right. We don't need people to be more codependent. We need more independent people to cohabitate together.
Right, right. And if we did, I'm pretty sure we wouldn't be in a lot of the mess that we're in right now as far as society goes. We wouldn't
Yeah,
be.
because if one person fall off, then they would first decide not to live beyond their means. If you get some, yes, you do have two incomes, but that doesn't mean you have to go get the most expensive place to stay. Just because y'all got it like that right now, it would make more
Right,
sense to go and get something a little more economical to where if anything were to happen, one person income can sustain your livelihood coming from
right.
either end. You get what I'm saying? Don't get anything
Hmm.
that neither one of y'all can afford, can't afford rather, if it came down to it.
Right.
Stuff simple like that.
Yep, exactly,
You need all of this
exactly. And this
stuff
is a
for.
prime example of that. People living outside their means. So yeah, you were able to get by on that $2,000 a month rent when you were working, but how likely is it that you're going to have a job now? And they're not. Yeah, they might have suspended mortgages, but what about your rent? They're postponing evictions, but if this thing lasts more than a week, more than a few weeks, more than a month, you're gonna have 2, 3, 4 months of rent stacked up. So by
That's
the
what
time
my
it
sister
does
just
end and they
said
no
that.
longer postpone evictions, you're getting evicted off top, off rip. You ain't making no payments, your ass is out.
Yeah.
But we want to send everybody a fucking $1,000 check that ain't gonna be worth a shit if we can't move anyway. What the fuck that $1,000
And
gonna
then
pay for if we
people
can't get shit?
have the nerve to get upset with those of us who look at it from more than one perspective. Like, yeah, we see the perspective of thank you for making sure we ain't just out here ass out flat broke.
Right.
However, comma, you still ain't stopping us from having to cash these people out with whom we owe.
Right,
And
exactly.
for that,
If you
you know,
really want to
like,
help us, just
we
just
already
pay all
got
the
laid off.
landlords.
I already got the paper. Look, they done already emailed me and told me, look, honey, y'all don't got no job as of right now. I mean, when they let us know something, we'll let you know something.
Right, and that's pretty much how it is for everybody. Don't nobody got a
Yeah,
job. And then when all
no.
this shit gets shut down, yeah, you got $1,000 in your bank account per adult. Only if you worked and filed a tax return in 2018. They don't give a fuck about this year. They going based off of 2018 tax returns. So if all of
Well, I'm
2018
good
you was
then,
on
praise
government
God.
assistance, state aid, any of that shit, you ain't getting not no check. So how you gonna take care of your people? A better solution would be to a better solution I feel like would be to provide the people with what they need. If we lock down, bring us food, bring us water, bring us whatever the fuck you feel like we need to be able to survive. Don't give us no check.
That's what most people don't
that
want.
check ain't gonna be helpful when the grocery store shut down, when the gas station shut down, when everything shut down. What that check gonna do? It's gonna sit there. But you still hungry. You still thirsty. Your kids still ain't eating because you was too busy buying fucking toilet paper.
Listen, wait. Let me tell you the dumbest shit. All right. I was in the grocery store yesterday, right? So the grocery store finally got some fucking food. I'm in the grocery store. I'm standing in line. I see this one dude standing there. He got about 10, 15 packs of fucking neck bones.
Mm-hmm. What?
So that's all the fuck
Let
y'all
me tell
eat for
you.
the next 2 months. It's 15
The
packs.
first grocery store I saw there, I have been to multiple grocery stores, and there was only one grocery store where the produce section was bare. There was no produce, but
Hold on, I'll be right
every
back.
other grocery store, all the pork gone off the shelves, all the beef gone off the shelf. It's still chicken and turkey sitting there. The shit you should be eating, not that beef and pork that's gonna further clog your arteries and make you sick. That don't make no sense. Y'all got all this. He just said he was
All the
gonna
fish
get it.
still there too, bet you.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Meat section gone. It's a hell of a lot of fish. Hold on, y'all. Go ahead, talk amongst yourselves.
He went over there. He walked.
I guess it's me by myself. I'm talking to myself. They both done put me on hold.
Oh shit, my bad. You know, I'm trying to make this transaction real quick. And the dude pulled up, and my dude walked up. But yeah, this
It's
shit,
all gravy, baby.
people going ass backwards, like really ass backwards. Like there's no reason to all the frozen dinners and shit gone, but y'all still got all these frozen vegetables and fresh vegetables and fruits and shit. The shit that's really gonna help you to not get sick on the fucking shelves. It makes no sense.
Aside from that, I was literally the other morning, and I don't care, judge your mama. Watching a fight video at like 8:30 a.m. And I rarely watch fight videos, but it was so interesting because I'm like, okay, this is a recent video, and y'all just really in here brawling in the county like coronavirus is not a thing.
Right. For what?
Like, it's more important for you to argue about where you from and why people ain't doing nothing to the incident was so bizarre. I can't even remember what they was arguing about. But whatever it was, it got out of hand.
Wow.
And the shit was hilarious and sad to watch at the same time. I don't know how that's a thing, but it did.
I bet. That shit was crazy. I watched one fight video in years, but it was in the UK. and they sitting there fighting over toilet tissue. This lady got a cart full of fucking toilet tissue, and she don't even want these fucking 24 packs. You got about 10, 24 packs of fucking toilet tissue, and this lady can't have one. Why not? It sickens me when
So
people
she just
need,
sat on her
like
ass.
one of my Facebook friends, apparently her son needs some sort of injection. I don't know if he's diabetic or whatever, but she can't get the alcohol swabs that her son needs to be able to get these
Damn.
injections and clean the sites. She can't get band-aids to cover the wound. Like, are you guys really like thinking that you're not the only person here when you're going out and hoarding? Or do you that
People
I
don't
guess
give
they
a
just don't
fuck.
give no fucks. They don't
Then
give a
think
fuck.
about it. It's a certain type of people that are doing this because you have to have a certain amount of money to be able to hoard all of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Why do
Yep.
poor people think that anyone cares about them? That's the bizarre thing. Fuck everything else.
Right, right. And that's the sad part too,
We
because it's
live
the
under this assumption that people
yep.
give a fucking like they're supposed to and they have to. No, no, and no.
And that's the sad part. It's the poor people that's following these trends when
Hold on.
I'm in the hood of Dallas and I'm in a Family Dollar and all these motherfuckers done got all the fucking toilet paper and paper products off the shelf, but not one type of food item, not one canned good, not one nothing. You got toilet tissue and paper towel. How that's gonna feed you? How? Exactly. I'm not understanding how. Man, this shit is this shit is wild. And then all these other
Right,
young
so
people still going on vacation, flying down to Miami. Oh, we don't got to worry about it. We're young, we're fit. But what about those of you that aren't fit and that will potentially die from this shit? Do we
thank
not
you.
give a
And
fuck
what
about
about
them?
the people that you going home to that you live around who are not as fit
Right.
as you, who are older with underlying
Health
health
issues you probably know
concerns?
nothing
Yeah,
about.
because it's not your fucking business.
Mm-hmm.
But they just air. That's the arrogance. That's the arrogance laced with ignorance of the millennials, and I don't care. I've been had a problem with them, so everybody else could just get on this train because I already knew that they were uncouth a long time ago. That's why
Yeah.
I stopped dealing with people under that was born after 1989 a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's crazy that that
So
one
pardon me,
year,
bias.
that there's that 1 year
They
gap.
good for what they good for,
They,
but
yeah. But
sometimes,
you know
like
what? I
especially the
think people
young ones right
forget
now,
though. I think one of the big things that we forget is that at least as far as the black people are concerned, our next generation of babies are of the crack era. So
that's
I
what we dealing with now. I say
right.
that all the
So
time. I thought I was the only person still
I
pumping that
realize
narrative.
that. No, I
Yeah,
realize that too. So we can't fully like, yeah, they doing some really stupid, fucked up shit, but can we really blame them when nine
parts of
times out of
their
ten that
brain
might be
that's
the way
not
they
even
was born?
developed yet.
Yep,
Yeah, I'm at the car,
yep.
but
And then we don't do nothing at home to make it any better. I was watching a video of this
exactly.
little girl trying to square up to a grown man, talking about what's up, what's up, what's up, and all the adults just laughing and screaming and crying like it's the cutest, funniest shit in the world. There is nothing cute about that behavior. I gotta check my
It's
daughter
not.
because she likes to sit here and act like she's so hard and so ghetto and she from the hood. Girl, you only lived in the hood and for 1 year out of your entire life. You 14. You lived in Detroit once for 1 year. What the fuck do you know about the hood? And why the fuck do you think it's cute or acceptable to be this little stereotypical ghetto baby that people push? I don't think it's
It's in
okay.
the music. It's in the media. Oh
Mm-hmm.
God. Let me hold on. I'm probably about to rejoin y'all in a second. I
Oh
got
no,
a
you good? Go ahead.
SOS. Okay.
Well, shit. I guess they really gone. All right. Well, I'm about to go too. Fuck this. I ain't just sitting on the phone by my motherfucking self. Nibor out. I'll check y'all next time. Peace.